Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So I want to get straight into this as it's a fairly lengthy interview that we've got in this video. Just as a heads up, this video was recorded around the time that XQC was banned for false reporting, and since then Fuey did actually get a response from Blizzard saying that he wasn't suspended for being a Torbjorn main, or at least he shouldn't have been. Since then, also he has been banned again, but this is a little bit of a discussion about what has happened, the fallout from him being banned for disruptive gameplay, and basically what he thinks of the whole situation. Let's get into it. We should start with introductions. Like, what is your name? Like, what do you play? What's your background? And then just kind of go through your perspective on what happened with the day that you got banned.
So, I'm FUEY500. I am a Torbjorn main, one trick, whatever you want to call it. And I stream on Twitch. So, basically, I only, or 90% of the time, 95% of the time, whatever, technicalities, played Torbjorn in competitive. I've reached high top 500 every single season, and I'm typically always around GM low top 500, and I got banned, to my knowledge, I haven't gotten any information, falsely by Blizzard for a single day around last week.
So what was the reason on paper that Blizzard gave you for the ban? And if it's what I think it is, it's the reason that a couple of other people have been given for sort of similar bans. But it's worth adding that whilst you did sort of describe yourself as a one-trick, you don't just play Torbjorn, and you haven't just played Torbjorn in the past either.
No, I played a lot of Ryan. I think I have around 137 hours of Reinhardt in competitive total. I used to play a little bit of Zarya. Season 1, 2, and 3 was my little tank and Torb season, but I started playing like only Torb and some other characters on the side, still like in some weird spots. Like specifically this season I've played Riot on the side. There's a map to auto attack. That's sometimes I will swap. I don't like Torb under auto attack. It's basically useless. Little choke, ineffective there. Can't do anything on the first point. Once you get the payload it gets a little bit better, but yeah. So the email, I'm actually on it right now. It went through and it said, actions taken, account suspended, violation for disruptive gameplay. Your fellow players reported you for a gameplay offense that is in the violation of the Blizzard EULA and or code of conduct. The suspension ended on November 12th. It's already been over, and basically they went through, we have suspended your account after analysis of evidence, blah blah blah, you can make support tickets. I went through and talked. I made multiple support tickets.
What do you think changed? Do you think that this was something that Blizzard wanted to discuss and talk about more? Like, where did the change come from, and did you sort of see the signs of something like this happening at some point this season or last season, that being a one-trick or playing Torb in situations where Torb maybe not the best pick would cause problems for you and might get you into trouble like this?
I've literally never thought that this would really happen. I think people were saying, though, that Jeff over BlizzCon was like, oh, we're going to tune the system and make it so more toxic people get banned or something. So I'm assuming they might have tuned it too much or something like that, but they've clearly stated like plenty of times one-tricking is not bannable. Even over the phone when I talked to the dude, he said he was a one-trick, and he was like, well, to my knowledge, one-tricking is not bannable, so I kind of don't think it's that. I think it's just a misuse of the report system, and the report system getting a little bit, I don't know, messed up, changed.
What's the reaction been like since? Because certainly from the videos that we've made and other people have made on the likes of you, Steve, now XQC, that's also been banned for reporting people too much, what has the reaction been like for you? Has it been mostly positive and sort of people standing up for you in this situation? Or has it brought more people out of the woodwork that really don't like one-tricks and now see it as a reportable offense?
It actually really, really depends. I think there's three main places right now. There is the Overwatch subreddit, that's probably pretty important, the competitive Overwatch subreddit and scene, and then I think it's in-game. So, from Overwatch, the Overwatch subreddit, I think most people have been pretty nice there. There's not really many people that have been bad. A lot of people have been defending me, and that's been awesome. But the competitive Overwatch subreddit definitely seems a little bit of a mixed bag. A lot of people there, like, he's nice and all, but I don't want him in my games, stuff like that. Just, you know, I mean, I guess it makes some sense, competitive spirit and all, but it's a class-based shooter. People should be able to expect to play with all types of classes. And then, when it comes to in-game, I think in-game has probably been by far the worst. Because even on both the Overwatch subreddit, the comp Overwatch, people are still nice, they're defending. In-game has been absolutely horrible. Almost every other game, it's just, hey, we're gonna go through and say, if you don't swap right now, we're gonna report you for poor teamwork. And then after that, there's just so many people that are like, alright, let's report him, get him banned again. Just in game chat, match chat, whatever, enemy team, my team. I even had a game the other day where there was just a Genji jumping off the map. He ulted, jumped off the map. And I had some dude just say, hey, let's report Fuey. I didn't do anything, I was playing the game. There's a guy literally just inting. But, it's been a little bit worse in game, but I think the community outside of the game has been pretty great.
One of the main complaints or main points that's been made against One Tricks, like yourself and other people that play these kind of classes and heroes, is that like them and have the personality. You have people like Colour Bastion that's a really good example of this, that talks in game, comes up with strategies, is really positive in his games, but people are saying that it's very inherently selfish. Is that something that you agree with, or?
It's such a weird situation, because I kind of agree it is pretty selfish. You're playing only one character, you're doing only one thing, but I also kind of disagree, because you're specializing in something. You're getting really good at one character. That's, you should be fine, whatever rank you're getting up to. That's kind of like the system's problem. If you're doing like good in League, for an example, with a really horrible character, you get up to challenge or whatever, I don't think those people care. You can play Teemo, they don't care. In TF2, generally speaking, those characters, they get kicked out because everybody else is so good. Try and play Engineer. There's a couple people I think play Engineer at like a higher level, but most of the time you just pick up Engineer, you're an average Engineer player and you play a lot of Engineer, you're gonna get kicked out because everybody else is so good. Thing is, with Overwatch, I think people are just, they're all focused super hard on team comps and not really self-improvement or working together and all that. That the team aspect is kind of just gone anyway. They're all focusing on just, I want to win, I want to get my SR, I don't care what these people are playing, I want them to play exactly what I think is needed. But it's not really like, I don't think there's been a single game where people have been like, okay, what do you guys think will work well with our specializations? This person's a support main, this person's a tank main, and we got 4 DPS mains. How do you guys think we can distribute the roles evenly? I don't think I've ever heard a single conversation like that go on, so.
Do you think that there's an element of the community contradicting itself, almost, that One Tricks are inherently bad unless they're meta? Do you think that that's a really big issue?
I think very little characters in this game are actually genuinely bad. There are characters in other games that are just actually horrible, but in this game, every character has just options. A lot of people like to talk about, I think the main reason people like to hate One Tricks or whatever is counters, right? Because when it comes to just getting countered, they think, oh, you can't do anything, like McCree versus Farah, whatever like that, but every character has some kind of tools to deal with other things, and I think you just have to get good enough at those characters to realize what situations to do certain things in. It's very, I don't know, it's just a little bit not something that can be summarized too easily.
Yeah, and there's like very vitriolic responses to not only your pick but you as a person, like without naming names and stuff. You've had some pretty interesting reactions of people doing also what XQC has done that got him banned in the first place, just repeatedly reporting, but singling you out, especially in games, regardless of whether you're on their team or against them.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple people who've definitely reported me every single game that they've played with me just because. I've had people that are just, they, no matter what, it does not matter. Could have been like 1 season ago, could have been now. They just hate on me, it doesn't really matter. There's people that I just can't listen to, so I have to block them when I get in game, because it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter how well we do, it doesn't matter how well I do. they're just gonna flame, they're gonna rage, doesn't matter if we win. I'm still gonna get reported by them, and it's kinda, there's not much I can do there.
For sure. And you were reported for disruptive play. It's worth adding that unlike Steve-O, in some situations, there's some people on Reddit saying that he's stood in spawn and not taken part of the game and essentially thrown. You haven't done anything like that. What do you think disruptive play means on your end, other than, is it just plain Torb sometimes?
For my opinion on my disruptive gameplay ban, I think it basically means that the report system was abused enough to where they loved to claim that was manual. The game has so many players, you cannot manually go through all those bans. That is just not possible. But I think that basically, I don't know, I think it was a false ban. I don't think I did anything wrong besides playing Torb. I don't throw, I don't rage. There's sometimes where I just don't talk, but there's sometimes where I'm not in voice, there's sometimes when I am in voice. That stuff is not bannable. You go through the little ban reports, none of that's bannable. The only things that should be bannable is throwing, toxicity, all that fun stuff, but I haven't done any of that, so...
Do you think it's about time that Jeff Kaplan sat down and went, one tricks, let's talk about this is our stance on what we're going to do with him?
I think it's very, very weird, because they've, I think for every single situation, they're always like, one-tricking is not bannable. It'd be really nice if they could go into the one-trick topic a little bit more, and Jeff has posted like some meme joke on how he's gonna protect like one-tricks or something. I think on a forum post is like Reinhardt just making little jokes there, but it'd be very, very nice if they made some sort of official stance or anything like that. Because they have made some, I think, communication efforts towards, like, working with your team and stuff. But they also say work with the people who specialize on your team. That's been in posts by them, too. So, it's kind of, like, important for them right now because, let's see, you have one person most likely falsely banned, aka me. To my knowledge, I haven't done anything wrong. I mean, just played the game. It'd be nice if they told me what I did wrong, but besides that, it's kind of a weird situation. You got a ton of people getting banned, got a ton of
From you playing Torbjorn, to having people report you in games, to the report system actually banning you, to the reaction afterwards, where is the problem? Is it with the community? Is it with Blizzard not having stricter guidelines on this kind of thing? We saw XQC banned for exploiting the report system. Does it need to be more of that, where to avoid this happening again with those people that play these heroes and don't actually throw in their games, where can this problem be fixed?
Hard one. There's so many different places the problem could be. You could say the problems in the players that are abusing the report system. You can say problems in Blizzard for allowing players to be able to abuse the report system. I do like the idea of don't blame the player, blame the game or whatever. So I think it's definitely on Blizzard's side. There's a lot of things they could literally do to avoid these type of situations. Even though they love to claim blah 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 manual reports, they probably don't go over them. That would be a good first step. At least have like a high priority set, or maybe like record something where you can go over it and actively be able to check that. Maybe even like include, or actually uninclude the report system. Make it so you can only report people at the end of the game. Because I know from games like League that you can only report at the end of the game. So if you truly feel like someone should get banned or whatever, or they did something wrong, you'll remember that. You'll remember throughout the entirety of the game, and then you report at the end.
There's going to be a lot of people that will maybe watch this video and be like, one trick should be banned. What do you want to say to those players that feel that one tricking should be reportable and are actually almost seeing people that play niche heroes, not even one tricking them, because players like you don't, but like predominantly playing them, people see you almost less than human. Is there anything that you want to say to some of these like players and some people in the community?
No, not really. I mean, they're gonna keep their own ideas. It's kind of like people have their set ideas on what they want out of a game, People play the game entirely for different reasons. It's actually, I think Jeff Kaplan was even like, we don't want gold guns or something, because then people only play comp for gold guns. But guess what some people might do? They might play comp for gold guns, some people may play comp to win, some people may play comp to get better, some people may play comp to work together as a team in a group and improve their teamwork skills. Some people may play comp just for a more competitive experience. They may not care about winning or losing, they may see it as a more structured quick play. Everybody's got their different reasons for playing, and there's always going to be people with different opinions, and that happens. You can't just dissuade everybody's opinions, because that's a bad thing. You're not including the negatives too along with the positives. You don't want something to purely be like, it's a very, very good thing that people are out there saying stuff like that. You don't want everybody to be like, yay, everybody is happy. No, you want dissatisfied people. You want to know how to improve the system for everybody, even if it's not possible. Because, yes, they may have a bad game because they feel like someone on their team isn't proving themselves to their standards. I can guarantee you, though, that the other person's probably trying. They're doing their best. I mean, I guess there is something I can say is just lower your standards. They're setting standards for some really, really high goal that's not obtainable. Everybody is just a bunch of random people thrown into a game together. If you really, really want the absolute perfection, that's why grouping is allowed in Overwatch, actually. It's for people who want to play in this super high structured environment. That's why tournaments exist. You can play in tournaments and stuff. But comp is just, it's a pug.
Everything that's happened this week with One Trick's been the main talking point. Is it going to make you change how you play the game at all? Is there something that you're going to bear in mind for future use? Or do you feel that it's one of those things that was just blown out of proportion, everything back to normal kind of thing?
Crow's, he's got this very, very high opinion because he wants this to be like crazy, because this is messed up. Having somebody who has literally done nothing wrong get banned versus there are people that have thrown my games, told me to die. There are people that have been like top 50 even on a Smurf account, just given up. There are people.
There's been pros. There's been pros that have done this as well, for sure.
Yeah, there's been pros. There's people that hate, there's people that love, but Crow, he thinks it's a big problem, and it is a big problem, but I guess me personally, it's not something, I think it's something that's a little bit blown out of proportion, because even though I was falsely banned, it's most likely just a minor error on Blizzard's report side. This happened so far with now 3 people. One person legitimately getting banned for false reporting, one person that's a little bit iffy, and then one person that's been false reported and banned. They probably are trying to tune up the system, and anomalies like that are always going to happen. But obviously it is a big problem that, I mean, I still haven't even gotten a single response on what actually I was banned for, like, besides the stupid disruptive gameplay email. That's a little bit more upsetting to me than than just having the day ban. The fact that they haven't been able to respond with why the day ban happened, that's a little bit more upsetting. And Crow is right, there's a lot of problems now that are arising, a lot of things that are getting shown off, and it is a big thing, but I think it's been slightly blown out of proportion. Just a little bit, because it is probably some weird error on their side that they messed up when tuning stuff. Because this hasn't happened any other season, right? Like, no big players, no streamers have been banned like this falsely before, or even had big bans like this show up, right? Like, I think other people got banned for bugs, bug exploiting, like, hacking and stuff like that. It's never been, I don't think disruptive gameplay has ever been a thing before now.
And finally, I guess, where can people find more information from you now that you're unbanned back into the game? Where can people find your Twitch? And if you want to shout out any YouTube, Twitter, that jazz as well.
Alright, I mean, my main platform happens to be twitch.tv/FUEY500. I really don't use anything else too often. I use Twitter sometimes. I would probably end up posting on my Discord, actually, which you can find from my Twitch when it comes to information. That'd probably be the best, but I'll try and keep everybody updated on if I ever end up getting a reply.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Do check out Fuey. It's a nice chill stream for those that want to maybe play a little bit more Torbjorn, but he also plays other stuff like Reinhardt. So do check that out. Do let me know what you think of One Tricks and this whole debate in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.